I'm Bonnie Homchenko.
I'm Mike Homchenko, and we came to Chestnut Ridge it was in January of 2001, actually January 1st, New Year's Day. There was a service, and we brought our whole family, and we felt the Spirit of God here, and the welcoming and the non-judgmentalism, the peace and the friendliness.
It was an amazement how we felt during the service.
And it just bowled us over.
I'm Bruce Lane.
And I'm Karen Lane, and Bruce and I and our family have been at the Ridge since we moved here in 2007. And I worked on staff here from 2011 to 2017 as the administrator and got to work directly with Pastor Tim.
And I'm the executive pastor and have been on staff now 5 years.
Hi, I'm Justin Haring. I'm Pastor Tim's son.
And I'm Katie Haring, and this is our daughter, Lila.
Since I'm Pastor Tim's son, I've been coming to the church for my whole life, really.
And I've been going to the Ridge for about 13 years.
Lila's been coming for about 6 months. So.
Tim has taught us so much, and we really learned a lot about the gospel and what it meant to us in contrast to things we had been taught as growing up.
He preaches in such a way that his life experiences, we can use them back to focus back on us. And that's one thing I really love, is to know that he's just as human as we are.
When I think of Tim having the vision 40 years ago to start this, it's amazing, but then having just the daily wherewithal to be like, this is what God's called me to do, and I'm going to continue to do it when things got tough, when things have been lean and that. And I just really appreciate that, somebody that has that vision and can see it and can just walk through it day by day.
And plus, I just appreciate Tim always making the gospel the main thing. You could tell he just had such energy and excitement to be able to clearly spell out the gospel. He wanted to teach others how to do it as well. And so there's always just an energy that you noticed when he was talking about the gospel. So I really appreciate that.
I would say growing up, my parents were about as good of parents as you could ask for, honestly. They're just Christ-like, and they lived great examples for us. They always led with wisdom and with love.
I feel like one of the best things about Tim and Karen is just how unconditional that they love their kids and their in-laws too. And now that they're grandparents, little Lila, and it's been really cool to get to see them enter that new chapter of being grandparents. I don't think there's anybody that's more loving or supportive than Karen. If you've ever been around Tim for any amount of time, you'll see he's got kind of this funny and silly side, and I think that's one of the things that makes him a really great grandpa as well.
Tim speaks often about his experiences driving and some of the things he's encountered, and I was on my way running errands one day, and this little black car flew around me on the right and got in front of me at the next intersection, and it was Tim. He's looking in the mirror, and then he sees that it's me, and he starts laughing, and so we both had a big laugh. But that's Tim in a nutshell, is his humanity, his humility, just being real personable.
Soon after I got here, we had a little thing called COVID, and we had really no playbook for that. And Tim would come back and say, what's the loving thing to do? Regardless of what anybody else thinks, what's the loving thing to do for our staff, for our congregation? And it really just gave me pause, because that's not the way I generally think. I can really see his shepherd's heart and how he goes about this, and it's just a really great question that I try to ask now as we're doing different things at the church.
Yeah, I would say one of the memories that really sticks with me and that I think about a lot is right before we got married. We were graduating from WVU, and 2 days before we got married, I got called in for an interview up in Columbus, and my dad just dropped everything and drove up with me and back right after the interview. So we went up there for 7 hours of driving just for an hour interview, and it was just a great time, quality time with him, getting to talk with him, and it just showed how much he cares about me. So.
When I think of Tim and Karen, I just think about service, about them starting a church, and it's not about them, it's about serving others, and that's continuing what it's been. And then after Karen left, to start up another startup in an organization that still is all about service. It's just a good reminder to me even that that's what this is about, being able to serve others in whatever environment God's called you to.
We appreciate you as friends and neighbors, pastor and pastor's wife. We do know that the pastor's spouse is a great part of success in a pastor's ministry, and so we appreciate Karen as well. I'm convinced that Tim's future will be very fruitful in his future endeavors, however he pastors or teaches, whatever he puts his hand to, God will bless.
You know, Tim, as I think about this, the scripture that comes to mind in Matthew 25 about well done, it's not just well done, but how you've gone about that as a good and a faithful servant. And we'll be sad, but certainly glad that you have really formed such a great foundation that the church is in good hands, and we'll be able to do some great things in the future because of how you started.
Well, Mom and Dad, we just want to say thank you so much for all of your hard work over the years, how much of a blessing you've been to us as a family and also the church as a whole. You guys have done a great job, and we're so proud of you.
We love you guys.